of them are amazing. I agree with what you said about the full art supporters. Whatever. Especially the rainbow rares. I did just release an article a couple of days ago about hating rainbows, and rainbow supporters are the worst. I hate those so much.
Yes.
Yeah. Welcome everybody to episode 13 of the PokeGuardian Podcast. I'm Taj from PokéTaj YouTube channel. I'm joined today by Zakariya.
Hello everyone. Hello.
And we've got a special guest today, DJGigabyte. Welcome, DJGigabyte.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. So today we're going to be talking about quite a few things. Obviously, Eevee Heroes launched. That's a big thing on our minds at the moment. But let's do our usual start to our podcast, and we're going to talk about our card pickups. So Zakariya, any cards you've picked up, purchased, opened recently that you're keen to share with our listeners and viewers now?
Yes, I picked up a Japanese Aquapolis Umbreon Holo, which is very hard to get right now in mint condition for a decent price. It was, I think, 3,000 yen, I think 2 years ago. And I skipped it every time. Now I pull the trigger. It's really enough. I got it for cheaper in Europe than I got it in Japan. So that's also very fun to know. Also bought the VMAX promo of Espion that launched today. So yes, I am. We'll talk about that promo in just a few minutes. But these were my main highlights of this month.
Excellent. How about yourself, DJGigabyte?
Yeah, so I actually picked up a card just a couple of weeks ago now. Kind of fits in with the theme of the episode because it is an Eeveelution. I'll hold it up to the camera so those who are watching on video can see it. So this is the European exclusive Staff Vaporeon. Vaporeon obviously being my favorite Pokemon. This is the rarest English Vaporeon. Most of the ones you see, the logo is going to be purple because that was the US release, but the orange logo is Europe only, and it being a staff promo, it was really hard to get a hold of. It's been years since I even saw one sell, and I didn't get that last time. So as soon as one came up, I was like, okay, we need to get that now.
That's a fantastic card to have, especially considering its rarity as well. So yeah, awesome. Right, let me show you what I got, if I can reach it. This is probably the most recent one I got. Gold Tapu Lele from Hidden Fates. I got all the gold ones in Japanese quite a while ago, and then because of all the reprints of Hidden Fates, there's a lot of stuff going up on eBay, and I spotted this one and I put a few bids in, and I was lucky enough to win it at a price I was comfortable with. Have got a bit of a Tapu Lele collection going. I do like the Island Guardians. Being someone who started collecting in Gen 7, it is sort of I've got more of an association with it than any other Pokemon. So yeah, I love this card. So managed to pick that up at a good price, and I think it's a pretty good card for the future as well. To be fair, I love these. I think the Lele's, Tapus. Sorry, the Island Guardians look really good as a set.
Tapus.
The Tapus, yes. So yeah, that was my card pickup. So nothing crazy this month as I usually do, but yeah. Awesome. Right. We've talked about our card pickup, so we've done our intros. Yeah. Let's move on to our news topic and discussion. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Eevee Heroes and all the SR, HR, UR cards. Now, Zakariya, you worked extremely hard on Wednesday morning, and it took longer than it usually did to find all these cards, didn't it? It was a bit of a task for yourself to get all these up. But looking at the cards, I think there weren't too many surprises as far as, well, we got the traditional 5-band full arts, which we seem to get every set. Something that I think a lot of us thought now with Sword and Shield, really they should have dropped, but we still got those. We still got the Rainbow Rares. Again, something that we're not really too keen on as collectors, I think. And I think we could have, again, dumped those this generation, but we got those as well, and a couple of interesting gold cards, to say the least. But the big focus is obviously on these beautiful special art Vs and VMAXs. Now, we were expecting quite a few of these, obviously, and we were spoilt, really. I think we got 15 in total. It's not 15. Was it 15? 13. 13 in total. Yeah. So of the 8 Eeveelutions,
special art, you mean?
Yes. Yeah, special arts, we got 13. So of the 8 Eeveelutions, 5 of them got both a V and a VMAX special art. It's just the Kanto Eeveelutions that didn't. Their VMAXs are found in the SP VMAX special set. SP4 is the set name for that. So those aren't included in the set. So we're not getting the special arts for them in this set, which is why we don't see them. But guys, your first opinion, Zakariya, what did you think of these special arts?
It's what everyone was highly anticipating for.
Yep.
I think they have done an excellent job. Yeah, what do I think the images speak for themselves. They are just so amazing. My personal favorites is the Umbreon VMAX, because from what I've seen from the images, the roof is textured, the sky is full of glitter. It has illustrated stars in the sky. The full moon also has texture. I think it looks so amazing. And also I think all the VMAX special arts are absolutely stunning. I wish I could afford them right now, but no, Umbreon was 70,000 yen at the launch yesterday. I think that's a little bit too much for my taste, but it already has come down significantly. I think it's 57,000 yen on Japanese marketplaces. I think that's a lot for me. Already a lot of money dropped. Also, so Yogonosuke with the Leafeon VMAX, and also Sao Espion V.
Yep.
I think that one is, funnily enough, in March I was saying, he did Sao did Pokemon Home artwork before.
That's correct.
I think 1 year ago.
Yeah.
Yes, and I was just joking around. Hey, maybe Sao, because Sao never did a special art before, maybe it's time for Sao to make a Eeveelution special art, and he did. So and it looks stunning. It looks absolutely stunning.
Yeah,
I am going to get that card no matter what. And it already came down in price as well, from 12,000 yen to 8,000. I think that's almost double dropped in price within 1 day. Yeah, maybe to drop, but we'll discuss the price later.
Yes, we'll come on to prices.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think Flareon also is among my top 3 regular special arts. And for the rest, yes, I think Gordy, nobody wants to get Gordy, especially in hyper rare.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's why Dream League, for example, compared to the set, is still superior as a set, as a whole, as a set, compared to Eevee Heroes, because there is no 3D involved. There's only the item, the gold item cards, and the rest is just pure artworks, like a celebration of artwork. And Eevee Heroes, I think, indeed, they should have made hand-drawn artwork instead of the 3D CG artwork. But then again, it's a business. Hey, if you pull that regular Glaceon, you want to pull for a special art. That's just how it goes with packs. And that's my advice. Always buy singles, especially with the set. It's not worth paying double MSRP for one booster box. But coming back to the arts, I think the special arts are to die for. I think Gordy, indeed, nobody wants it. And I think it will be very cheap. Even Aroma Lady, I think not many want that card as well. Inteleon, shiny Inteleon in a gold card, I think it looks amazing. I personally wished for Eevee, but no, it's not a playable card. All these gold cards are, I think, so far, like I mentioned before, besides a couple that are not pre-release promos, all have been pre-release promos
Yep.
except for one or two. But yeah, this will be a very nice set in upcoming years, and we will see what will happen with the Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon VMAX. Maybe in the high class pack they will get special art. We will see.
Yeah, it's happened in
VMAX
the past.
Climax is also a trade. Yes, VMAX Climax is also trademarked. So we will see what will happen in the future. And now to DJ Gigabyte.
Well, what does it say? It's so good. All of this artwork is so amazing. When they've been doing full arts in the past, I have always really liked the full art trainers and supporters because they have background to the artwork.
Yep.
All of the Pokemon that we've seen in full art, it's the Pokemon and then it's some generic colors in the background. Whereas the supporters, they've been in rooms, they've had actual images. With the special arts, we're now getting these full art Pokemon cards where the Pokemon is somewhere, they're in a location, they have a background. They just look so good. It's almost like I hate Rainbow Rares as well. Rainbow Rares can go. But now I'm been full arts. Like, we just do these special arts. These special arts, they're so different and they're so unique. They're things where I think we really wouldn't get sick of them if they just kept doing those because each one is so different. Whereas It's not just the same repetitive thing over and over again. My favorite, obviously, is the Vaporeon, but I'm biased with it being my favorite Pokemon. I do have them all up just to my left here. The Glaceon, I think, is incredible.
Yes.
It's very subtle the way the Glaceon is in the artwork. I think that is really good. Like you said, both of the Umbreons, they're amazing too. I really like the Umbreons. There's just not a bad special art amongst them. All of them are amazing. I agree with what you said about the full art supporters. Whatever. Especially the Rainbow Rares. I did just release an article a couple of days ago about hating rainbows, and rainbow supporters are the worst. I hate those so much.
Yes.
Gold cards, I love the stadium. The stadium looks really good. I've always liked the gold stadiums. Like I said, I just like something where they're putting more artwork into the space, and the gold stadiums have always done that too. So the gold stadiums, yeah, it's just such a really cool looking set. I don't have any of it yet. I'm probably not getting any soon, but at some point in the future, I'm definitely going to be picking some of these up and hopefully getting graded Vaporeons and everything from my Vaporeon collection. It's such a cool set. I think they've really knocked it out of the park here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got to echo what you guys have been saying. Artwork, I would be super chuffed to pull any of those special arts, to be fair. I don't think there's a bad one amongst them. My personal favourites, as you guys are going to guess, So-So. I'm a big So-So fan, so that Espeon, when I saw that was the first thing I saw. I woke up like 5:30 in the morning, turned my phone on, went straight to PokeGuardian. I was like, right, let's have a look at the leaks, and I was like, because you put that as the first thing on the splash page, didn't you? I think that was targeted at me. Taj, get in here, have a look at this. So I was like, oh my god. I brushed my teeth, I literally got to my computer and I started streaming on Twitch my immediate reactions as I went on PokeGuardian and started looking at these cards. And as I was talking through them, each of the special arts is telling you a story. You can look at it and interpret it the way you want to interpret it. Like Leafeon is being playful. You can see it's autumn. The leaves are falling. The trees in the background are dropping their leaves, and it's playfully sort of sitting there in amongst the leaves. Flareon, that was one of the later ones that came out. But you can see with a flame in its mouth, the direction of the flame going towards the fire as it's stoking the fire with its flame in that nice cozy environment. Vaporeon is... this card is stunning. I definitely want to get hold of this Vaporeon. It's a bird's eye view.
Yes.
It playing with that leaf from that sort of pink weeping willow that's fallen down into the water, and it's just playing with its paw, and you can see the moon reflecting in the water. The detail there is just stunning. On all of these cards, and you guys have talked about the Glaceon. We've got Jolteon that you can compare to Miles Morales or Sonic the Hedgehog there, which a lot of people have been making the comparisons to. But you can see it's also drawn in a fisheye lens type of way, because the building slightly curved, the background cityscape is curved, it's to give you that effect, We've talked about, the Espeon and it using its psychic ability, cheekily sitting in its master's chair by the looks of it, reading through the books, causing a mess. There's just so much in here. Sylveon running its own bakery, or the token of the mascot of this bakery, because you can even see the chalkboard behind the text there with Sylveon drawn on the chalkboard. It's there's so much detail. There's even a Flareon standing in that Umbreon V special art just behind the text. And if you notice, they're all Ichigeki Pokemon in front of Umbreon. So it's almost like Umbreon's commanding these Ichigeki Pokemon, saying, yeah, we're going to go and raid Sylveon's bakery and get some good treats for ourselves. Do you know what I mean? But it's all of these artworks are stunning in my opinion. Glaceon, VMAX, Kirasaki, probably that one looks great, but probably my least favorite of all of them, even though I'm a big Kirasaki fan. But I would be happily pull any of these from my products that I'm getting. And Turffield Stadium, a lot of people, like, oh, why Stadium's in here? And I turn around and say, well, if that was in any other set, you'd be happy to see that. And I hope this is a sign they're going to bring. I hope they bring each and every stadium from the Sword and Shield games in this era of sets now that we're getting. Because I'd be really, really upset if I was to start getting all the stadiums and then they're stopped halfway through, because I've got a themed pages of full art supporters, and I've sorted them out in pages from how you meet them in the game. So I think there's a lot here. This set's brought a lot to it. They should have dropped the 5-ban full arts. They should have dropped the rainbow rares, giving you a better chance of finding something that you want. 32 super rare or higher, that is a lot. You're going to, and looking at it, half of those you'll be disappointed to pull. So it's hard enough to get a booster box as it is. If you're opening a booster box, some people are going to be paying double, triple MSRP, and you end up getting a gaudy rainbow rare. And, I think there's going to be some damage done to your property because of the rage you're going to have. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I've got some product coming. I've got 2 of the VMAX special sets arriving on Tuesday, so I'll be doing a YouTube video straight away opening both of those. Fingers crossed we pull something good. We're obviously going to get 2 of the VMAX full arts promos, but we'll see what else we get from the boxes. The hits have been pretty decent from what I've seen, and obviously this Espeon VMAX promo from the is very sought after as well. So yeah, great set. I think some stunning artwork. Caught a lot of us by surprise exactly how many special arts we got, but I think we were expecting quite a few in this set. So yeah, very nice indeed. So that is Eevee Heroes, SRHR and UR cards. Let's have a look at the launch prices now. This was quite interesting. So we were looking at Card Rush, and again, I immediately had a look at Card Rush when the set went up on midnight in Japan, and I was discussing this yesterday as well. And you look at the prices now; they've come down a little bit now, but the one let me try and sort this out via price if I can, because I think that's the best indicator, isn't it, to see what's selling best and what's not.
Yes.
A lot of the stuff was. Let's have a look. It's in Japanese, so I'm going to have to figure out the button for this to bring it up. But let's talk about Umbreon VMAX, special art. That's the most expensive card at the moment. Currently sitting at 57,800 yen. If we will just do a rough price conversion, that's about $578 roughly, almost $600. When you do the conversion to the UK, I would say by the time you add the VAT, customs fees, and the cost of importing it, you're going to be looking at about £550 anyway. So again, it's a £500 plus card, almost $600 for a set that's just come out, and a main set card. That's unheard of as far as I'm concerned. I've not seen a card at launch that price. Not even a Charizard, at launch have I seen at that price. Charizard VMAX, I don't think hit that price at launch. Maybe in the English version it was, at the certain influencer was hyping up stuff, so it, when Shining Fates first came out, I don't know how much it hit, the Charizard VMAX in English, but definitely not the Japanese.
Think even then it only hit about, I think it was only about 300.
Yeah. So, this is insane, but we all know how popular Umbreon is in Japan. So for those people not familiar with how popular Eevee and the Eeveelutions are in Japan, like in the West, how everyone loves Charizard, or Charizard gets the hype, Eevee and the Eeveelutions get that kind of hype in Japan, especially Umbreon and Espeon. They are super popular characters, and they always have been. And I think, obviously, that the local demand is driving that. But again, Umbreon and Espeon are also very popular outside of Japan as well. So you got the double hype there, which is driving those prices up, I think, for sure. The second highest price we've got is obviously the Sylveon VMAX special art. That is just, again, it is reminiscent of, I think, for me, the Urshifu, Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX, because you've got all the Pokemon in the background. You can see the scale of the Pokemon as it's VMAXed. And it's got a lot going on. You got Marshadow having fun sliding down one of the ribbons there. You got an Eevee, a Vaporeon's just staring at Marshadow, saying, "What the hell are you doing?" And there's an Eevee sitting underneath a parasol on a coffee table outside a cafe, by the looks of it. And then you got the third-person view of the Eevee at the front of the image as well. Really, there's so much attention to detail gone into all of these artworks. If you zoom in and start looking at them, you can sit there for 10, 15 minutes and you'll spot something new every time you look at them. So great. But I mean, Zakariya, your opinion on these prices, what do you think? I mean, we've looked at prices. I know me and you look at prices day one and a week later quite often in Japan. What kind of trend have you seen with this in comparison to normal?
Well, a lot of people could not get any product, so they want these cards somehow. I think these are, I think 20,000 yen is the maximum. I think the sweet spot for these VMAX cards. Yeah. But then again, that was for Calyrex, for example, special arts. But you are talking Umbreon. Everyone loves Umbreon. Not everyone, but it's a very popular Pokemon. Among the evolutions, it's the most popular evolution. Sylveon is also up there, and Espeon, top 3, maybe. Yes, I think I've never seen this for a Japanese set. For a regular set, not high class or tournament promo. For a regular set, this is for me. I think this price, I think 2 years ago, would never happen. I think it would be a maximum 10,000 yen 2 years ago. It feels now as if it's been accelerated by 2-3 years. This price could maybe happen in 3 years, 2 years ago. If you're gonna understand what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think for the regular V special arts, I think the price is still technically very affordable. But the VMAX cards, I don't know how rare these VMAX cards are. If these are one per case, I get it. Why is these are so expensive? The issue is that nobody wants to sell their cards to card shops. Stores like Cardrush, they are gigantic in Japan. They have a lot of stock. And they have 7 in stock of these Umbreon VMAXs, yeah, and a lot of card shops I've seen don't offer any singles. They don't. Some card shops don't want to buy any singles as well, because I know they can't. They pay quite a lot of money, and if they need to flip it, they have to ask a lot of money. And I think a lot of people just rather buy a booster box for that kind of prices and gamble, hey, for VMAX themselves for 10,000 yen a box, and again, I've never seen this kind of price before. It's demand, it's lack of supply. You couldn't get any product, online at pre-order. If you were lucky, a lot of lotteries, a lot of convenience stores that are, almost plundered. There's nothing left anymore. So we just hope there will be more stock coming. I mean, it will. It's a regular set. It's not a high class set. That has a short run print supply. They have apologized sincerely, Pokemon Company, for the lack of supply, and there will be more stock, and this is not the prices that will be stable. No, next week we'll see. When the market price is stable, we will see what happens. But my guess is, I think Umbreon, it won't be lower than 30,000 yen. I think the price has somewhat set. If Sylveon is almost double less than Umbreon, for example, if Sylveon VMAX will be 15,000 yen, I think Umbreon will be 30,000 yen, something like that.
Yeah.
And that was my take on it. I'm curious what DJGigabyte has to say.
Yeah, I definitely agree that I think that the prices will go down in the short term once they actually start getting more supply out and get future print runs of the set. But overall, I think that these are going to be very high priced long term. Once those other print runs are out, these will start to climb back up, and I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of years' time the Umbreon is higher than it is now, because I think these are always going to be just super popular cards. But one thing that I think is really interesting is obviously you talked about like the Charizard and stuff gets hyped in sets. But if you look at something like Champion's Path, that was Charizard or bust. You got, when I was opening Champion's Path, I think I opened 5 Rainbow Rare Gardevoirs, and that was the 3rd most expensive card in the set, and was dead. If you actually look at this, currently on the prices, there are 6 different cards you can pull, which are over $100. And a total of 15 different cards that are over $50. So it's actually showing that it's not just a set where, one card is hyped. It's a set where there is a lot of value across a lot of the stuff that you're opening, which is really where you want a set to be. Obviously, if we scroll further down the page, we do have that Rainbow, what's his name, at 680 yen. But almost all of the hypers and the secrets are very, very valuable pulls, it's really good because it means there's a lot less disappointment. Obviously, let's say you're going to get disappointed with some of them, but there's quite a lot of them where you're still going to be happy in monetary value that you think you've hit something decent, assuming when we're back to being able to get these boxes at retail price, which is what they're hoping for. But yeah, I think it will go down short term, especially when they get these out, but I think this is a very good long-term set. I think this is a set where if you want it, you should be trying to pick it up once these future print runs come out. This isn't a set where you should wait and say, oh, maybe in a year's time I'll pick them up because they're going to be gone. This is definitely a set where figure out which ones you want, set your priorities, and you should be trying to get these within probably the next couple of months if you're trying to get them, I think.
Absolutely.
100%. And, my take on this set is that it's, first of all, it's been hyped to oblivion from the minute the sell sheet was announced back in January, February. So a huge international interest, more than I've ever seen for any Japanese set. I've got people had people hitting up my DMs for the last 4 or 5 months who'd never bought a Japanese box or Japanese set in their lives, saying, how do I get hold of this Eevee Heroes? Can you get hold of it for me? They just went crazy for it just from the name of the set. Now, we all know these cards are going to end up eventually in English. I think when they do, or when it's announced, we're going to talk about a set name later on, which might hint towards it. But the usual pattern in Japan is you have two sets and an expansion that go into one English set, and it's usually the last 3 sets that have come out in Japan. So yeah, this is going to be the first of those 3 sets potentially that goes into the one after Chilling Reign. We'll talk about that set later on. But yeah, the prices, I think they will stabilize. It's purely supply and demand now. What a lot of people need to consider is this is unprecedented what's happening in Japan with this set. Usually when a set launches, you can walk into a Pokemon Center or queue up outside a Pokemon Center and go in and buy the booster boxes. Because of a lot of prefectures being in a state of emergency, because of COVID, Pokemon decided to pull this from every Pokemon Center just to make it fair for everyone and do online only. We all know what happened with the first print run of this online. The bots just crashed the servers. They then did a lottery, but the lottery is obviously for wave 2, because when you look at those, when they're getting delivered, those products from the lottery are getting delivered June, July. So that indicates to me that that's the wave 2 print. Now, usually the wave 2 print, they would always bring that back in stock into the Pokemon Centers and the Pokemon card gyms, because you'd see regularly as stock's running dry, they do get a refresh. So that's probably the stock that's destined to go in stores, which has been sold. So now the next wave's probably going to hit mid-July, late August, so wave 3. It'll be interesting to see if we've got an English announcement, if we've seen cards in English, and what that does to the market conditions in Japan as far as this set's concerned. Because I think once it's more readily available, we will see prices start to settle for a little while. But as you guys say, Dream League was the set of the Sun and Moon era in Japan, and a lot of people slept on that for a long time. And then the FOMO kicked in a few months ago when they realized it's out of print and everyone's desperately trying to get hold of Dream League booster boxes now. I think Eevee Heroes is the set of the Sword and Shield era that when people look back, when it starts going out of print in 2 years' time, when it's dropping out of standard rotation, they're going to be like, oh, I wish I'd bought booster boxes. So yeah, as you guys have mentioned already, don't sleep on this set. When reprints are out and you can buy it at MSRP, don't hesitate. Grab a few boxes. Even if you put them in storage for now and you want to open them later on, at least you'll have them to hand and you're not going to be paying through the roof for them, because I think it is going to be one of the a vintage set, let's say, as a wine connoisseurs would say, it's a vintage. And I think it will mature nicely with age. So yeah, definitely. Great set. And yeah, prices truly reflecting that. Okay, so we talked about that. Pokemon Center Online lottery results. So, Zakariya, do you want to talk about this? Me and you experienced this firsthand, didn't we? Receiving emails.
Yes, and not only one, but two.
Yeah, 2. I got another one today as well.
Yeah,
it got me excited a little bit and then disappointed.
Yeah, as you said before, indeed, the first wave, first come, first serve happened, and they have apologized for that. It also, Japanese media sites, they covered that, so it got national attention. So that's not a bad, good look for the Pokemon company as a whole, and they know that. And when they apologize, they really, for Japan, customer service is number one.
Yep.
It's key for them in their culture. And, I think this should have been in the first place, the lottery system. I personally think they should have canceled all the orders for the first wave, the first come, first serve wave. And then say sorry, this is not supposed to happen, or this is not the best way. We will give literally everyone a fair chance, because there was bots in the system. I think they should have just mentioned that. Maybe fraudulent purchases that that's not following the terms of service.
Yeah.
And I think that should have been the way to go. But again, I've never seen this before. Like I said, this unprecedented that this is happening in the first place. I was already expecting this kind of, the sheer hype in February alone. Indeed, as you said, it mentioned already Eevee Heroes. A lot of people expected what you could expect from this set, already telling by set name. And all Eeveelutions, indeed, this set is a future classic. It's already going to be indeed in the lookbooks. Hey, this is that kind of set. All EVs included, in Sun and Moon, for example. We got, Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon, but we only got them in decks. No full arts, no special arts for that matter. Nothing, and
No
I think that
shinies.
really was annoying because no shinies indeed. So you are left with a gap in your binder. It's just sitting there. Yet there's no higher rarity. I think they should have been included in Tech All Stars because there was room for that. This set, all EVs, all Eeveelutions, I mean, have a special art. Not everyone in VMAX, but you know what I mean. There's everything for every Eeveelution fan. Something is in there for you. And indeed, again, this is a future classic. It's already going to be that kind of set. Indeed, it will be so. I wish I'd have jumped on it, and a lot of people are already anticipating that already. The FOMO, fear of missing out, is already kicking in. A lot of people even, I'm quitting this hobby because they can't get some singles, they want. It's not end of the world, there are still a lot of other, older cards you can still get, you just have to look. These are not the last cards ever. I personally, I forgot to say this, I personally wish if there is a Sun and Moon art book, please release Sword and Shield art book, and Sun and Moon for that matter. We did not also get one. Please include these in one big page. I want all the special arts. I mean, I want them as one, in an art book. I think it's weird why we don't still have an art book, but hey, still the anniversary is not yet over. I really hope they will release one. The Illustrator magazine is the first, the best thing close we got to an art book, and already I can see some Sun and Moon special arts in there. If you don't have the magazine, I highly urge you to pick it up. Even if you don't read Japanese, I think that illustrations alone, high quality paper is amazing. I think the Giratina and Guardian special art is in that magazine, without any border, without any text.
Yep.
And I really hope they will do it with Eevee Heroes and, for that matter, all special arts for Sword and Shield. I think that's it. I don't know what else I have to say. But like you all two are saying, indeed, this set, there's so much variation and value in there. You really can't go wrong with the set. I think, again, Dream League is the better set in terms of, hits. You have, I think, 3 gold cards, and that's it. These are the worst cards. And if the worst card is, Vileplume GX, it already has some amazing hand-drawn art. And here, indeed, it's... Yeah, what I have to say, I think the special arts, they should have made them hyper rare instead, like Dream League did, instead of this. Because, I think for variation, it's nice. But it's just the 3D CG, indeed, they should have left it in Sun and Moon again. I really can't. It just annoys me almost. I think they do look better in Sword and Shield with all the glitter, but I still not. I'm really fond of that style. It was cool in Sun and Moon base set, in the first year. Umbreon, Espeon, GX in the hyper rare. But no, I just give me all special arts, and everyone wants special arts, but they have to make chase cards for the set. And I really hope they'll continue special arts in general, continuing from year 3 with the Diamond and Pearl and the remakes. We will see what will happen, but I really hope they won't stop that special art, because I think that's the thing for modern cards, special arts. Don't stop them. Just we want all the hand-drawn artwork. Do not treat us like that with the 3D artwork, because it's, even during XY era, for example, there were 3D CG, but they were, I think, more dynamic. They're not really static. If you know what I mean. They had more dynamic to it. More time probably to for commissions to be to be made. I think Umbreon from Fates Collide, Umbreon EX Full Art, looks night and day, literally night and day, better than the we got the Umbreon V right now, for example, and the Umbreon GX, for example, for that matter. They don't look as nice as the Fates Collide Umbreon, for example, and even the Espeon and all the other evolutions, they don't look as nice. And that was my take on it.
Yeah. DJGigabyte, did you have any experience or know about what was going on with these lottery announcements and what happened about the lottery?
So I didn't participate in any of the lotteries. I just kind of saw it secondhand through people on Instagram and Twitter who were going through it. Obviously, it's not an ideal situation. The ideal situation is have the stores open, let people go in. But I think the lottery is the best of a bad bunch of options, basically. It's definitely the most fair.
Yeah.
When you are selling online, we experienced it so much in the US. The bots coming in and buying up everything straight away. I guess that Japan maybe weren't as aware of it when they did the first wave, and that's why it ended up happening. But I'm sorry. I do think the lottery is the best way to go about it from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's okay. I think we had this issue with in Japan, first come first serve really did hit us pretty hard, and there was a lot of sourness from Japanese people, especially even huge PokeTubers in Japan who missed out. Were really tweeting their frustrations out there.
Yes.
About how disappointed they were, and you had, you want to the guy that you follow, who's the host of the main Pokemon channel. Oh God, what's the guy's name again? Bonitashi, that's it. He apologized profoundly, even though he had nothing directly. Yeah, Bonitaishi. He had nothing directly to do with it, but as the face of Pokemon, he's apologizing on his Twitter as well to people. But I think the lottery is definitely the best way to do it. As you've said, DJGigabyte, it gives everyone a fair chance. Everyone participates. It's indiscriminatory about how many funds you've got, what your status is, who you are. Randomly picks you and as a winner or a loser. Obviously, so many people applied this time. I even got another lottery information today. So Funko Europe, for example, is now doing lotteries because they were hit by bots as well for their Emerald City Comic Con Funko Pops a few months ago. And they've been keeping silent about how they're going to redo it because they cancelled the whole launch. And they literally shut their server down and shut the website down in the middle of it all. And they just announced today that it's going to be a lottery as well. So they're going to send you an email. You have a period of time to apply for the lottery. When you win the lottery, you will then be emailed a special code, which on a specific given day, you need to go onto the Funko Europe website, log in, input your purchase code, and then be able to buy what you've requested. So it makes it a lot more difficult for the bots. I'm sure the programmers there will find a way around it. But it definitely puts things in a lot more even playing field. It's not about who's on the site at the right time and gets on there quickest and presses F5 quicker. Lottery gives everyone a fair chance, whether you've got a good internet connection or whether you're awake or not at that particular time of day. So yeah, definitely the way to go, I think. Lotteries, they've done it in the past in Japan. I think Pokemon Center Japan will be doing it a lot going forward as well. Let's talk about FamilyMart, Lawson and 7-Eleven stores in Japan, shall we? So the set launched midnight in Japan. So here it was, I think, 4 p.m. Thursday afternoon in the UK. And we started seeing some tweets coming out. People were going into their local convenience stores because they're open throughout the night. they get stock of trading cards in, and they sell stock of trading card products. 7-Eleven is a partner of actually Pokemon Japan. They often do promos which are 7-Eleven exclusives. They did a box with, I think, with a Cramorant eating a Pikachu, with a Pikachu in its mouth. Was that a 7-Eleven promo in a box when you had to buy a box with a ticket to go and watch the Coco the movie, I think, and you got a special promo? I think that was 7-Eleven, or was that Lawson's? One of the two.
I think other stores did it as well.
Yeah.
Which one is it again? You know, it need to just exclusive to certain stores.
Yeah. So, you
there's
know,
a lot of promos you can get which have the 7-Eleven logo on.
Yeah.
Like in the way that we have GameStop logos and stuff on them, you can get promos with 7-Eleven.
So all three of them,
there.
FamilyMart, Lawson's, and 7-Eleven, have got their exclusive promos. FamilyMart often gets the family promos, I think. Lawson's gets very simple promos, like we had Sobble recently and a water energy with a Lawson's logo on it. So, but yeah, they were getting swamped today with people going in, constantly harassing their staff about Eevee Heroes products. A lot of them have now put signs up at their stores to say, "We do not have any Eevee Heroes products. Please do not ask us about it." I mean, Zakariya, you've seen the tweets and you've seen the translations. What are your thoughts on this? You know,
Yeah, I've heard some incidents happened.
Yeah.
You know, literally incidents. There were, how do I say it? Some violence happened in some cases, even in those incidents. I can understand why. You know, there's so much tension for this set, so much hype. A lot of people were almost, you know, raiding these kind of stores. And, you know, if you work in retail, you know, you're standing 8 hours on your feet every day. The last thing you want is 500 people in a day asking about Eevee Heroes. You know, you will get crazy. That's, you know, that's how retail is. And you know, even some Japanese people have their limits, you know. And I think it was even trending on Twitter, you know, these convenience store things, you know, raiding and this and that. I think for some stores there were even, you know, even not closed, but you had to line up for, I think, something like that. Yes. I'm not sure. I think OKJ Love has covered much of that. You know, he knows his Japanese very well. You know, he's into kind of that stuff. But I think there are many methods, you know, from stores to prevent, you know, scalping, because there is not many, you know, product out there. A lot of card shops. I think we need to also, you know, let everyone know a lot of card shops in Japan, you know, not even, you know, international shops, but in Japan, they got allocated hugely. For example, someone ordered, I think, 1,000 VMAX, you know, special boxes, and someone, I think, maybe got like 30, you know.
Yeah.
That's huge, you know. They have get to cancel all of these orders, you know, all disappoint all of these customers, you know. And I think that's also an issue with a lot of international card shops, and even in Japan, you know. I ordered within a you know, a reputable Japanese card shop the same morning, you know, you know, the set was revealed, you know, in February. All of my orders got cancelled. And why is that? They took additional pre-orders after the first pre-orders were closed. You know, that's asking for trouble. And that was exactly what happened. They got trouble, you know. they had to cancel everything. And a lot of frustration is out there. So people go to these stores. That's the best chance of getting product. And I can understand why some incidents happened in Japan. You know, a lot of, you know, this is not an adults, also a kids and teens, you know, a hobby. And I think a lot of teens are also very emotional, you know. Some of them can't control the emotions. So I can understand why some of these violent incidents happened. I think it's a shame, you know, it shouldn't be promoted, but that's how it, you know, you can't, it's Eevee Heroes, you know. And what else would need to discuss? I think that's all for now.
I mean, an interesting point you made there is about allocations. I personally, this is my theory here, is that every store got what they normally get. Is my theory, but the demand was tenfold from what they normally have.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite clear because you see stores like Hard Rush and UUT and a few other stores that I look at regularly. They had the same amount of product and stock as singles, so they obviously allocate those boxes for singles that they open, 2, 3, 10 cases. They still had the same amount of stock. They still sold as much with the lotteries as well, a lot of them. So I think most stores got their normal allocation, but they got a bit greedy. Yeah. And when pre-orders opened, they're like, okay, I got tenfold demand for this. I'm going to put in a pre-order for tenfold of what I got. I know somebody that was talking about one of these YouTubers who does videos from Hong Kong. He usually orders 20 cases, pre-order sells 10 of those cases and holds back 10. For Eevee Hero, he ordered 2,000 cases and pre-sold 1,000 cases. It's crazy the amount of extra stock that people were demanding from Pokemon and they weren't going to get and they pre-sold as well. So the tension was there, the hype was there, and you can see that spilling out. People know that convenience stores are going to get their normal allocation. So at midnight, they're going to go to the local stores, and I saw tweets of people gloating. I saw a tweet, somebody had 6 VMAX special set boxes and about 5 booster boxes, and they were gloating and saying, oh, just your typical convenience store walk around, basically gloating about the fact they went round to every single convenience store they can find at midnight within their vicinity and bought out all the stock, which then infuriates people even more, But I mean, DJ Gigabyte, we see this Black Friday quite often. People losing their emotions and their control, and it seems to be a similar thing we're seeing today in Japan. It's a Pokemon card Black Friday, shall we say?
Yeah, so I actually work in a game store. That's my regular job, and so we've already seen all of this happen.
Yeah.
With the US releases of cards, we've had to say to people, we've had to put up notices like, if you don't pre-order it, you're not getting it. And we've had people harassing our staff over wanting more stuff. So I think it's a natural progression at this point. Is if a set is selling out, stores are having to do this just to protect their staff.
Yeah,
because it is just getting crazy out there. People are really just going over the top and just not respecting people, just not behaving like rational adults. I mean, I know obviously over here we saw that places like Target completely stopped selling Pokemon. I think places like Walmart and Meijer, you have to go in at a certain time on a certain day and queue up at a desk. They don't put anything out anymore. So I'm not surprised to see this happening in Japanese stores. Once we saw the initial wave sell out, it just seemed like this was inevitable.
Yeah, absolutely. Seemed like a natural progression, didn't it? So interesting to see. We don't usually see this kind of behavior in Japan, but seeing this darker side, shall we say, of people's character, and obviously safety, and obviously having been a retail manager and worked in retail for many years myself, the safety of the staff always comes first. The people, they're used to being abused and being blamed for product supply issues when it's not their fault. They're just a person that's in front of you who's trying to serve you, and they get the brunt of it from the customer, which is never fair. Okay, we're going to move on. Let's talk about something that surprised us. So Eevee Heroes wasn't the only thing that got released today in Japan. Something that went under the radar for a lot of people. I knew this was coming at the same time. I put in for the lottery for this. I was trying at that time at 2 a.m. here in the UK to try and buy this as well when it was up in the getting launched. It's the high class sets for Gengar VMAX deck and the Inteleon VMAX deck. But what we didn't expect, and this really caught everyone off guard, was special arts to the VMAXs. And not only just special arts, Zakariya knows how important one of these VMAXs is to me. One is by So-So, and it's one of my favourite Pokemon as well, Gengar. absolutely stunning artwork. Now, Zakariya, you've got a bit of information about, well, a guesstimate, shall we say, of how common these are. We've been getting mixed messages from people, haven't we? I mean, some people are saying, tell us what you think it is or what you've been told.
Yeah, I've seen some Japanese marketplace, some listings. Some said it was 1 per case, which is, I think could be, What I did yesterday is I was researching how many boxes were in 1 case,
Yep.
In 1 case, there is 16 decks total. They are packaged in 4 boxes, separated, which is indeed 16. And if that's 1 per case, that's quite difficult to get. But we don't know. It could be 1 in 10. It could be 1 in 12. We don't know. And I don't think we will never know the ratio, how these special arts will be, distributed. They do seem more common than, the typical Eevee Heroes VMAX. So I think even Inteleon is, 6,000 yen, doubled in half within 24 hours. I think the Gengar is 10,000 yen. So maybe, as more product will come, and they will come more product, because they are accepting pre-orders for, was it August?
Now. It was June, July. They sold out the June, July allocation. But yeah, August.
Yes. Yeah. More stock is coming. So I expect this price at that moment to come down. But yes, like you just said, Tash, this Sorso and which the artist Kazuma Koda is just, yeah. What just look at the images if you can. No explanation needed, but Sorso is very popular among collectors the last couple of years. I think it needs no introduction. If you don't know Sorso, search his portfolio up. You will, I think, very distinctive style as well. Very, I think it fits Gengar, very well, because I think Sorso can, how do you say it? A little bit, how do you say it in Dutch? It's difficult translating. But he has a distinctive style, like Disney kind of style, how do you say that?
It's like a cartoony style, isn't it? But a pastel sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, dreamy, little dreamy, yeah, mysterious, something like that. And I think that fits Gengar super well. But yeah, again, this just the last one we got was, I think, the Silver Dialga from Legendary Treasures? No, Fandom Forces in English. And the last 2014, they released Hyper Metal Chain Deck, Dialga EX, and Age/GX, and some say it was 1 in 10 boxes or 1 in 6, but we don't know that ratio. 4-star TCG mentioned to me that he opened 1 case, which is 6 decks per case, and he got 1. And his friends at the time opened also 1 case and did not get the Dialga EX, the silver one. Yep. So that's the last one we had before. In the past, in 2019, we had the V-starter decks, the very first one for Soul and Shield. There was a rumor that, 1 in 6 boxes, 1 per case, that included a full mirror foil, reverse hollow deck, blanked out deck, which is also very cool, but we also don't know the official ratio and, how common these are. But I think that's the last one, truly the last one that included something besides, like a God pack, something like that, but less, common, more common than, for example, a real God pack from a high class set, pack set. It's very interesting. Like I said, it caught everyone off guard. Some even thought it was part of Eevee Heroes, which is not the case. Again, this is included in, you have a chance if you open it inside of the deck, you can maybe get, Gengar in the Gengar deck or Inteleon VMAX in the Inteleon VMAX, also not mixed. You get Gengar or Inteleon, in this specific deck.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah. DJ Gigabyte, what do you think of this whole concept? What do you think of the cards and themselves?
So the cards are really cool. The Gengar looks really cool, but I don't like the concept of how they're given out. The reason is because obviously we always look at everything from a collector's perspective, but we need to remember this is a game as well. And starter decks are always really good because they are products that will stay on shelves for quite a long time. I work in a store, packs go out straight away, but decks stay there for a while. Obviously, being like an English Master Set collector, I'll pick up one copy of each deck that comes out to get the exclusives. But something like this incentivizes collectors to go and buy all of the starter decks. And I don't like it when that's happening because I feel like starter decks are something that should be on shelves for, a kid comes in, wants to learn to start playing or just wants some Pokemon cards. It's an easy thing for them to pick up. It's a good place to start. So I don't like there now being a reason for collectors to go and buy all of these off the shelves. I know obviously they're going to be available online because the collector's going to open them when they don't get the Gengar. Even if they do get the Gengar, they take the VMAX out, they sell the rest of the deck. But not every kid knows about it. Their parents don't know about it. They want to be able to get into the game. The best way for them to do it is to walk into a store and pick up a deck. Obviously, I don't know how much of that is the same in Japan as it is in the US, but over here, that is definitely the best way for them to get into the game. It's why it was really good when Battle Academy came out, that was something that was always there for them to go and pick up. So obviously, that's my main gripe with this, is just that it will leave less starter decks on shelves for kids to come in and start actually playing the game and have an easy in to get into the hobby.
Yeah, I think these
decks...
To be
fair,
sorry, go ahead, Zakariya.
To be fair, this... Yes, thank you. No, to be fair, this is called a high-class deck, and it's almost like a competitive-ready deck. So it's not truly for starters, So a lot of people, and also this is a higher price point than other, starter decks, and it shows, And I think this is more indeed catered towards collectors and, competitive players, both at once. I do think I agree with DJ Gigabyte. They should have been left out. They should have been in a high-class pack set later, in the year, as a last set, which should have been indeed the most sensible choice, because indeed, like he said, this should be available at all times, for everyone. Even if that kid indeed wants to do competitive, they have a competitive deck ready, Coming back to the starter decks, we will get the family Pokemon card game. I think was it next month? July. And I think they have also officially confirmed that on the sell sheet. They will hold campaigns, to promote the V-starter decks. You've already seen it, with the Japan post. Now the Garigari-kun, the ice cream lotteries, there will be stock out there for newcomers. Absolutely. I think if there was no family Pokemon card game decks coming, and only this deck, that would have been troublesome. Sorry, that would have been, indeed, I would agree with DJ Gigabyte. There would be a questionable choice to include this, but I think there is room for this product to include them. Newcomers won't be, left out. With new decks. Coming back to that, indeed, high class pack material, I think is really cool. But again, high class pack material.
Yeah, I mean, like you're saying,
being more of an English collector, I didn't realize the. Sorry.
Yeah, just to sort of highlight what Zakariya and both of you guys have said. These are high class decks. So, for those viewers and listeners who aren't familiar with Japanese and English comparisons, this is probably comparable to the League Battle decks that we get, for example, the Zacian League Battle deck. So more for an advanced player. to give them a tournament-ready deck that you can go to your Pokemon League and just play this deck competitively with without having to tweak it too much. You can make a few changes to it, but it's meant to be a super competitive deck, which is why this is aimed as a premium product. It's called high class in that sense, and it does give the premium price as well, because I think they were like it works out $30 per box if you bought them separately. And the bigger one was about $65 with the 2 promo cards. So it's a premium product aimed at more, let's just say, skilled players who've been playing for a little while. So like at the moment, I think the family starter deck that you're talking about, Zakariya, is building on the Pokemon Academy we had. Was it Pokemon Academy? The
yes
board game type style,
yes,
which replaced the sort of trainer's toolkit we used to have. I think the last one we had was the Ninetales, the Alolan Ninetales, and the
trainer kits.
Yeah, the trainer kits. So those are sort of more designed for that. On the artwork of these, I don't know if you guys noticed, but somebody mentioned this. I can't remember who it was. But look at the Gengar. Look at the what's being sucked in. It looks like what grows on VMAX, Snorlax VMAX's stomach. I don't know if you guys remember the Snorlax VMAX card, where it had a scenery on its stomach with the trees and the road and the grass and the greenery. So, and
forest.
It looks a lot like that is Snorlax's stomach, which is quite an interesting concept, actually, that somebody mentioned. It's curved slightly, and it gives that appearance. Also, I don't know if you notice, in between the energy symbols for the attacks there, you've got a pear. And Zakariya, you might have seen that on a Komaya artwork with a Snorlax and an Eevee in the past. On the Snorlax and Eevee tag team Komaya artwork, that pear, that fruit that they're sharing. So yeah, looking at the artwork, there's some sort of telltale signs in there that maybe Snorlax is involved in this somehow, but that's just a theory. We don't know, But it's quite an interesting concept. Again, you can come up with whatever stories you want when you look at this artwork, but potentially that could be Snorlax VMAX's stomach that is sucking in.
Looking at it as well, I did just notice the way his open mouth and tonsils are, he actually has a dark symbol in his mouth. Yes. That's actually really cool.
That's been highlighted as well, yeah. It's awesome how that's been done.
I didn't realise that until I just zoomed in on it now, but that is really cool too.
Loads of little Easter eggs in these artworks. And, and I think the Inteleon will really appeal to those who like their first-person shooters, your Call of Duty guys out there who, might like seeing a sniper on top of a tower there. So a really interesting artwork on both these cards. I think.
Like we were saying, so like we were saying, when you're putting the background and stuff in more than just the Pokemon, you can find places to put these cool Easter eggs and stuff into the artwork.
Yeah, definitely so. So some great cards. Very surprised how they're being distributed. And again, it's going to drive sales of already premium products even higher for those people who are chasing these now. So that'll be very interesting to see. Okay, let's move on to something English now, shall we? Sword and Shield. We've got a new set logo revealed for Evolving Skies. This is an interesting one. Zakariya, do you want to talk about this? This was sort of came out on the 18th of May, which is last week? About 10 days ago now?
Yes. I'll keep it short because we don't know much. There's a release date. There is a set logo. There's a pre-release date. We have information based on Japanese expansions. And that's all the facts we have currently right now. Everything besides that is unconfirmed. Yep. That's just speculation. My speculation is indeed Evolving Skies. Evolving stands for, the Eeveelutions, from Eevee Heroes. And Skies, it's a nod to wrong Skies, it requires a VMAX and Duraludon VMAX, the Skyscraper Gigantamax from Duraludon. And in Japan, it's called Skyscraping Perfect and Blue Sky Stream. So, that's that, plain simple. But not confirmed that it indeed will feature Eevee Heroes. I think it's just very likely that they will include, and not all rarities maybe, because these sets will be gigantic again. I won't be surprised if they would cut out some special arts or whatever for products, or even future sets. 25th anniversary set, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think they will include all of the evolutions, in terms of playability, because they can't, I think for 3-4 months between the next set. I think that's too much, for competitive players. But yeah, I think not much to add here. Very cool, very hard set.
What was your first thoughts, DJ Gigabyte, when you saw this logo? Did it sort of tell you something, give you some sort of hint as to where this set's going?
Well, everyone was obviously comparing it to Roaring Skies, the Rayquaza heavy set. And I think, like Zach said, the evolving really throws Eevee at you in the Eeveelutions. I also think they are probably going to keep all of the Eevee stuff, but I could see them just putting everything into the set. It's not out of the realms of possibility that we're just going to have a giant English set. And if you look at, I think Cosmic Eclipse was the really big one.
Yeah, that's colossal.
At the end of the Sun and Moon era, they just put everything into that. There was a lot of stuff that they could have cut and kept for other products, but they just threw in everything. I think it's definitely not out of the realms of possibility that we just have a set with 50 secret rares or something.
Yeah, I mean,
just
having someone,
special arts.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just I've got a couple of opinions on this. One, Evolving Skies, my personal opinion, definitely, I think the evolving is in regards to the Eeveelutions, and Skies refers to Skyscraping Perfect and Blue Sky Stream. Having collected and opened Japanese sets for 3-4 years now, the set release patterns are very much similar. And it is usually the 3 sets that make up an English set. Now, I think it is going to be Eevee Heroes, Skyscraping Perfect, and Blue Sky Stream that make this set up if normal patterns are followed. I wouldn't see them holding back Eevee Heroes for a 25th anniversary set, because they're going to have a 25th anniversary set in Japan as well. So I don't see them cutting Eevee Heroes, making a 25th anniversary set exclusively outside of Japan. I think Japan's going to get a 25th anniversary set as well as everybody else. As far as all the special arts are concerned, I have a feeling, and we've seen this before, Reshizard special art, Garchomp Giratina special art, Snorlax and Eevee special art. Where did they end up? They ended up in these Tag Team GX tins. We also had a Generations box, which featured Charizard and Blaziken special art. Yeah. And I think there was a few others, and it came with a playmat. So I'm thinking, maybe they're going to do an Eeveelution. Every year they bring out a playmat box, premium quality product, usually about $90, $80, $90, comes with a playmat, comes with some really great special arts or promos, and about 7 to 10 packs. I'm thinking some of these special arts might be pulled and put into a box like that. Now, if you think about it, how many VMAX special arts have we got? There's 5. Right? Because they've cut the Kanto Eeveelutions out of the set because those are promos in Japan, so they don't get special arts. Maybe that number of 5, the VMAXs, could be an Eeveelutions VMAX special premium collection box with a playmat. I don't know. That's my speculation going on here. I think they will cut some of the cards, the special arts. Definitely either tins, either collection boxes, or a special annual playmat box, one way or another. So I don't think we'll see all of these special arts in this set. But then again, they've broken the mold so many times. Like, for example, with the Charizard full arts and the Charizard Rainbow VMAX that we never expected to see in English, based on historically what happens with Japanese cards. And we did. We saw them thrown into a set. So, they're breaking the mold with everything in Sword and Shield, I think. So it's very unpredictable. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, interesting. The logo looks fairly dynamic, quite bright, and very reminiscent, as you guys said, of Roaring Skies. You know, first thing you think of when you see that logo is Roaring Skies. Okay, we're going to talk about now the May merchandise. Zakariya, do you want to talk about this? You like the old merchandise from the Pokemon Center in Japan and Japanese merchandise?
Yeah, we got some surprises today. There was some unannounced merchandise products released on Pokemon Center Japan, in stores as well. But it's called the Eevee collection. It has artwork of all Eeveelutions on there, and very nice artwork. Deck sleeves, a flip deck box, with strong magnets. It's a side-loading deck box. It's very nice. You have to look it up on PokeGuardian.com. And also deck sleeves. All of them sold out within the same morning. And also very nice playmat, by the way, with the same artwork. All of them sold out in the same day, and they are accepting pre-orders right now for Japan. Pre-orders for September for Pokemon Center Online Japan. I think, it's very cool. Also, there's a storage binder of Eevee Heroes pack artwork, which is also very popular, and I can understand why it also sold out. I think it even includes 9 pages, to store your cards in. There's very nice, there's a flap on top of the cards to protect your cards. I think that's very nice. Also, we have...
Let me show you. This is one of the earlier ones that they did in Sword and Shield.
Yes.
From the Japanese Pokemon Center.
Yes.
So essentially...
Yes.
There's some Sobble cards in here because my son likes Sobble. But yeah, it's a very nice binder. You do get... these are independent clips in here. D-size. You've got energies printed on here as well. And they do have a tab on the top which folds on top of the card, so your cards do not fall out when you hold it upside down. So really, really premium quality pages and folders, really high quality design for these Japanese Pokemon Center folders. So yeah, this is going to be exactly the same with the Eevee folder as well.
Yeah, and also other merchandise, deck sleeves of Rotom Phone. It's there, which is also very cool. Also, deck sleeves of Gigantamax Gengar. And that one is more interesting because it has been illustrated by James Turner. And some people may know him, some may not. He's been art director for Game Freak for at least, I think, 5 years or something like that already.
Yeah, easily. So he's the designer. He created Poipole, which is my favorite Pokemon. Yeah. So I know, and he's a UK designer who works for Game Freak, as you say, and he is the father of a lot of Pokemon. He actually came up with their individual designs and concepts.
So yeah, I agree, and I think it's very interesting because it's almost similar to like, hey, Ken Sugimori did something, illustrated. It's something in that line. I hope we can see more of James Turner's work because it looks very cool. He has a distinctive style. I recognized instantly because, he has a lot of fan artwork, of his Twitter, on his Twitter account. Also, we have Gigantamax deck sleeves and a deck box. And these are all generic, not generic, but these are all supply you can order right now. I think this looks cool. But also some very interesting stuff besides the regular merchandise. 2 lottery products this month. One is this one is a little bit difficult to explain. But then Eevee Heroes, in each pack you will get a puzzle card. It's called a Nozotoki in Japanese. And in each pack, there's like 10 riddles total, something like that. And they will give out 100 special Nozotoki Pokemon card game Eevee flip deck boxes as part of that campaign. And you can submit, I think, on the Twitter special site or something like that. You can submit, hey, I have completed all of these puzzles, and you can submit your, your entry. And maybe if you're lucky, between May 28th until June 17, you can enter. Maybe if you're lucky, you can win one of these 100 only, exclusive Eevee flip deck boxes, which is very cool. I expect this will be very expensive because there's not a lot of of these products around. Besides that, we have sleeves, not to match, but something completely different. These are called the Dragon King Tournament 2020 original deck sleeves. And what these feature Eternatus artwork in its original form. And this deck sleeve should have been given away last year, but the pandemic happened. And also 100 of these are going to be given away in a lottery. Tomorrow in Japan, they will live stream that Dragon King tournament. And between that live stream, you can tweet out, a hashtag, of the Dragon Lottery. And on that live stream, you will have another hashtag that will be announced on live stream, what you have to say in order to apply for the lottery. And then if you're lucky, you can win. And I think that's very cool. I think they should do that more often.
Yep.
But hey, it's there. I think it's very cool. If you haven't, if you do not have seen the images already, I urge you to look at them. So maybe you can have, I don't know if you can submit yourself if you are not a Japanese resident, but you can always try with the proxy services around.
Yeah, and that sleeve, the Eternatus sleeve, looks amazing. It's done in a traditional Japanese calligraphy style. The tournament itself is being held in Tokyo in an auditorium with a very traditional Japanese, traditional style stage. It looks absolutely stunning. The venue where they're going to be holding this, it's in a major theatre arena. But yeah, I love the artwork on that Eternatus, and that Eevee deck box is going to be worth quite a bit. It looks like it's a nicely stitched leather box. Beautiful artwork of Eevee. It just contrasts really nicely of the dark royal blue sort of leather. I don't know if it's faux leather or real leather, but it looks really impressive. Reminiscent a bit of the deck box that we got in the battle tournament box that came with the Alolan Friends promo that you've got, Zakariya. The black.
Yes.
It looks very similar in style to that.
Battle Kit.
That's right, yeah. So very nice.
Yes.
DJ Gigabyte, having had a look at some of this merchandise, any thoughts?
Oh, it's all so good. It's really, really good merch. I'm not surprised it all sold out. I mean, the Eevee playmat and the sleeves are just incredible. There is not a bad piece of merch here. They've really done well. I haven't showed my wife the promo deck box with the lottery yet, but I imagine she's going to freak out when she sees it, and then there will be tears when she finds out there's only 100 of them being released. But it's an item that just by looking at it, it deserves to be some sort of exclusive lottery prize. That is too good of an item to just be sold with regular stuff. That is such a high quality, like you say, nice artwork on the front, absolutely incredible. I didn't know until you mentioned it that James Turner did the Gengar. That's really cool. I always like James Turner's stuff, knowing that he's a guy from the UK who, got into Game Freak, designed a lot of the Pokemon. And I believe he was the first non-Japanese person to have artwork on a Japanese card. Because I know some English cards Wizards of the Coast had Americans do artwork, some English exclusive artwork, but I believe James Turner was the first person to actually get his on a Japanese card in a set, which was also really cool. And he's done great on the Gengar there as well. The binder looks amazing. It's just we're probably gonna have to order some of this for September. It's very nice stuff. It's really, really good.
Absolutely. So most of this stuff, as we say, the Eevee Heroes, a lot of this released today, as we said. So all the Gengar stuff, the Eevee Heroes folder was released today, the Rotom sleeves, as well as the other Eevee products, but a lot of them are now sold out and pre-orders are in for later this year. And we've got those 2 products, which are obviously lottery exclusives as well. So some great merch. So overall, guys, I mean, what a week it's been. I mean, Zakariya, do you want to talk about anything else? Summarizing what's been happening.
Yeah, I think this release, similar to GX Ultra Shiny, will be remembered very well. GX Ultra Shiny back in 2018, was it?
Yep.
If there was no Corona out there, I am almost certain of it that the Pokemon centers would be stuffed, similar to the GX Ultra Shiny release. I'm just certain of that.
Yep.
But indeed, Japan right now is not doing very well with the pandemic. Still had a lot of customers visiting stores. So could you only imagine if the set was released 2 years ago? Again, I don't need all of the cards, but I truly hope this year they will release an art book again with all of the artwork of the special arts in there to just have it in a nice high quality image that just I personally like the artwork more than the cards. Would be very nice to me if that the best gift for me indeed is the art book along with a nice promo hopefully. But we'll see what will happen. 25th anniversary indeed. Later in the summer we will know what the 25th anniversary will be. I'm just thinking of will this set be for a regular set? I think this is one of the best set in years for just a regular set. I have not much to add really. It's just it's its own thing now, Eevee Heroes, and I think this set will always be better than Evolving Skies because you know what to expect in Eevee Heroes. It literally says Eevee Heroes, Eeveelution themed. Nothing, mixed in with, Rayquaza's VMAX. No, just Eeveelutions in one set. And that's, that alone is just making that set so good. Just like Dream League, a lot of people like Cosmic Eclipse, but since it's mixed in with Alta Genesis, it's not as good as Dream League on its own.
Yeah.
So that's my take on it. And I think that's what I will end with, Eevee Heroes.
DJGigabyte, before you give us your summary, let's talk about yourself. And can you give us a bit of information about where our listeners and viewers can see you and your YouTube channel and what else you do as part of the community in Pokemon as well? And then just give us your outro as well at the end of that.
Also, my YouTube channel is DJGigabyte. You can find me there. I also write articles on Ludkins Media. You can find me just on Twitter, Instagram, anything. If you search DJGigabyte, it's almost certainly me. If you come across a website where you are listening to Albanian house music, that is the one DJGigabyte that is not me. That's another guy. I'm always down to talk about Pokemon with people, so if anyone has any questions, you can always just drop me a message on Instagram or whatever. I don't know what else to say about me, really.
I really recommend his content. Why? I think DJGigabyte is one of the collectors that dive into obscure stuff within the hobby. Not the overly hyped things, but the more obscure. If you really want information, unique information, most of the time, I think DJGigabyte is your guy to go.
Yeah, I like to try and shine a spotlight in some other places. I always like stuff that has a more interesting story to it. So I try and make videos and stuff around those.
So any sort of outgoing thoughts on what we've been talking about today? What's your summary from from the whole podcast today?
It's just been a crazy week. I mean, there's just been so much happening. I was up all night the other night just refreshing every 30 seconds to look at those cool special arts being revealed. I think that is just the summary. It has been a crazy week. Most weeks in Pokemon, you're not going to see this much stuff coming at once, I think. But it's all been good stuff.
Yeah.
It's definitely all been good stuff. It's absolutely incredible.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, like you say, it has been a crazy... I started this week on Monday tweeting, Happy Eevee Heroes Week, everyone. And I did a quick bullet point of what's happening each day. And little did I know at that point how manic this week was going to be and how crazy it was going to be. But, it's... like you say, like I said earlier on, I think this is going to be a vintage set. It's going to be a set that's going to be remembered for a long time. People are going to look back at this set and think, wow, what an awesome set Eevee Heroes was. The Eevee fans around the world have gone crazy for this. I don't think this is unprecedented. We've had high-class sets in the past, and I know Shiny Star V got a lot of attention outside of Japan. People bought boxes, introduced themselves to Japanese Pokemon for the first time. Maybe that's where the hype for Eevee Heroes came from. But Eevee Heroes, I have never seen so much interest in a Japanese product launch by the mainstream media outside of Japan. That looks at Pokemon, and it's positive for people like me and your Zakariya and yourself, DJGigabyte, who look at Japan. We look at products when they come out. We look at sets when they come out. And they're always a preview. It's like a pre-release when you go to a pre-release and you get to open those cards and see them 2 weeks before everyone else. And you're like, yeah, I've got that card. I've managed to pull that. Amazing. No one else has got this card. The feeling you have at a pre-release. That's how Japanese collectors feel. Look, I've got this card 3 months before it's out in English. And look, it doesn't have a yellow border. It looks awesome. That's the feeling. So I think it's nice more people are getting into Japanese Pokemon. What we need now is Pokemon Japan to ramp up production. They're really stretched. They're producing cards for all the Asian markets at the moment, in the Philippines, Thailand, Hong Kong, Indonesia. Their production facilities are at full capacity, and they just can't keep up with local demand in Japan now as well. I think they've spread themselves too thin. I didn't think they were realizing growth was going to be so strong in its Asian markets as well as in Japan. As soon as they can get their production levels up and start meeting demand, there's going to be, it's going to be nicer to be in this hobby again, when you can just go and purchase boxes as and when you need them, readily available. But yeah, like I said, I've got a couple of boxes coming Tuesday. They're with DHL. They're flying over from Asia as we speak. So I will have a video up on Tuesday where we're going to open the VMAX special sets, the Eeveelution ones. So we'll open 16 packs, a couple of those VMAX packs, over at youtube.com/PokéTaj. I'm also doing a Twitch, should be my affiliation stream. I've only started Twitch recently, so Monday night I should hit my numbers to get affiliate, and I'll be doing some Magic the Gathering opening, and I'm going to have my So-So collection folder out. So we were talking about So-So quite a bit today with the Espeon and the Gengar special art, but I've got every other So-So card in a master set and a folder with some overflow. So we'll be looking at that as well. So, I've enjoyed this podcast as usual. It's been amazing being able to do this on video. Huge, massive thank you to you, DJGigabyte, for joining us on this, our first video podcast. It's been a pleasure having you here. Your insight, your knowledge has brought so much to the podcast for us today. So thank you very much for joining us. It's a goodbye from me, Zakariya. Over to you.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.
And DJGigabyte.
Goodbye. Thanks for having me here. I'll come back anytime you want me.
Excellent. Have a great time, everyone. All the best, and we'll see you on the next podcast.